All rise for the pledge, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We signed in. Okay. Welcome to the October 8th, 2015 meeting of the Board of Trustees. I want to really start out with recognizing the Employee of the Month. And this month it's Steve Phillips, works in the Parks Department, hired in 1999 by the village. And Steve, should I read what his supervisor wrote?
Pretty simple and to the point.
Pretty simple and to the point.
But I think it covers all the points.
So the supervisor, because in the nominating, the recognition form, they have a bunch of areas you check off, like perform noteworthy single act, et cetera, et cetera. So he checks them all off, and Larry writes, I checked off all the above because that's what Steve brings to the workplace every day. Enough said. So, if you knew Larry, you really, truly would appreciate that statement. So, but Steve is, he's a multi-talented individual. If you look at the work, especially along the boardwalk and the pump station that was built there, and he does a lot of the sprinkler work. He pitches in with different departments, and what a great guy for us. So. Congratulations, Steve. He's not here, but congratulations for being recognized as Employee of the Month. Next, we've got the oath of office here. All right.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Edward T. McIntyre,
I, Edward T.
do
McIntyre,
solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United
and the
States
Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New
and that I
York,
will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully
the
discharge
duties of police officer
the duties of police officer
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
just read your signature right there. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I never thought it's going to make you talk, right?
It's all right. Ed worked for us this summer. He also worked for Southampton Town PD last year, and he's finishing up law school this year, so it'll be a great addition to the police department. Lifeguard as well, so be good.
Covers all
I
angles.
think he's going to be great.
Nice. Okay, great. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Why don't we get a team photo of guys on it? Come on, guys. The media, we can even put you in there. I know you're retired, but
No, we on the end. Front of 10.
good.
Charlie, is this live?
Yeah, it's live, all right.
Can everybody scrunch a little
Can we get everybody in? Yeah, okay.
That's better.
You got us all in?
Got it.
Okay. Good, okay.
Thank you very much.
Now, is he on duty now?
Mike, Patrick, Teddy.
Hey, Ted.
I'm good. Mike, Mark, Ed, see you later.
Mr. Retired.
Great. We have a public comment section now. No one from the public signed in. Would anyone like to speak? We have 3 minutes. Okay. All right, so we're going to go to board presentations here. Linda?
Hello, I'm Linda Riley. I'm going to pass down some materials. Includes the remarks that I'm going to make tonight and some exhibits.
Okay, one more, Linda,
One more? Sure.
please.
Yep, I got one.
Thank you.
I had one for Rick, too. Did that?
Yeah,
Let's
it's,
go around. Yeah.
Okay.
it's working its way to
Okay.
the back.
I represent Beatrice Godhealth, also known as Dee Dee Godhealth, who is a member of 71 Hill Street and 91 Hill Street LLC, the two entities that own the property at 71 Hill Street and 91 Hill Street. These are the two properties that straddle the road that is now named Viridian Way. Indeed, Viridian Way was originally deeded to the village as a public road in 1974 by the predecessors in title of both 71 Hill Street and 91 Hill Street. That roadbed came from those properties. And I submitted copies of the deeds of dedication as Exhibit A there in your packet, but that's very dull reading. The original impetus for the dedication of this road to the village back in 1974 was that early planning documents recommended a connection between Hill Street and a certain 34-acre property to the north, known as Cooper's Farm, that was slated for subdivision. In 1985, the subdivision map for the property to the north, Cooper's Farm, was finally recorded in the Suffolk County Clerk's office, and I gave you a copy of that, which is attached as Exhibit B on the packet you have. And by the time this map was filed, planning considerations had changed, and a through street connection to Hill Street was no longer considered desirable at all. And what was then an unnamed road, now Viridian Way, became truly a dead-end street. The more recently adopted May 2000 comprehensive plan makes no mention of converting this to a through street, nor does any other planning study done since that time. So as such, the purpose of the dedication of the road has been frustrated somewhat. And at this point in time, the road is in disrepair, and there is no meaningful reason why the village should retain it in its highway system, with the possible exception that the road, long after its acceptance into the highway system, was named Viridian Way in honor of Marduni Viridian, who devoted many years of public service to the village, and we certainly agree that that should continue to be recognized and respected. I have some boards to show you too, which are duplicates of the attachments on at the back of your exhibits. At this point in time, 91 Hill Street has a 50-year-old 90-unit hotel motel on the top side of Viridian Way, which is shown in, the existing conditions are shown in board number 1, which is also sheet number 1 in your packet. It has a parking lot running along the length of it between the hotel and the Viridian Way. The building across the street, which is the one I want to focus on now, is 71 Hill Street. It's known as the International Plaza, and it is improved with 2 buildings facing Hill Street that are existing and will remain there, and also Building CD, which is shown as the long building sort of in the middle of the lot, surrounded by parking lots. The buildings known at 71, or at least Building CD, is in need of renovation. It's used for offices, and there's one restaurant there. And the owner is interested in renovating it and bringing it up to current standards. But as long as we're going through a renovation process, we feel, and she feels, and I think the village would agree, that we need, what the village needs at this point in time is more upscale hotel rooms, places for visitors, appropriate and somewhat luxurious places to accommodate the visitors who come to Southampton. So the owners of 71 Hill Street propose a complete renovation of Building CD, eliminating the existing office uses, and redesigning that building, and we're only talking about that building, just that Building CD, so that it can accommodate 12 to 18 high-end suites for vacationers on a transient basis. There'll probably be two-room suites. I mean, there's nothing finally planned or designed here. This is all a concept plan, but the idea is to have luxurious, commodious accommodations, but all within pretty much the footprint of the building you see now as CD. The proposed conversion is in keeping with the recommendations of the May 2000 Comprehensive Plan, which I've gone through, and the recommendation that was made in an earlier 1991 hotel-motel study, which was referred to in the May 2000 Comprehensive Plan. But it won't be a viable project if it's adrift in a sea of asphalt. So the owners of 71 Hill Street are looking for support to take away the middle portion, the center portion of the pavement, and reconfiguring it so, can I see board 3? No, 4. Or 3. I'm sorry, 3. So board 3 shows you that what they're planning at this point in time, or what the concept is to take the Viridian Way, the center part of it, and green it. Keep it flat, keep it green. The idea is lawns and pedestrian walkways. There would even be access for a fire truck, if a fire truck needed to barrel through there to get to the hotel or something. But it would provide a sort of tranquil green area over what is now Viridian Way. We'd keep it open, and we'd keep it green, with the exception of some pedestrian walkways, which I think everyone would appreciate. The beginning of the road, Viridian Way, would continue to be Viridian Way, whoever owns it, but the village could retain ownership of a portion of it. I'm just going to point this out. It could be to here, it could be to here. It would depend on really what the village would find useful and appropriate, if anything. And it would continue to be named in honor of Moon Viridian. As the road then approaches the hotel entrance, it would turn into, more of that green space. The parking and the circulation would be moved around to the sides and the back, so there would be parking at the end of Viridian Way. Can I have the board 4? Board 4 shows you proposed conditions, or just in a rough conceptual plan. Again, this is not meant to be a formal site plan, but it shows you conceptually with the pink superimposed on it, pink being where Viridian Way is now. You can see what's proposed to be under it, which is at the end a parking lot where you now have practically a completely abandoned dead end, which is sometimes used for skateboarders and not much else. And the rest of it is there's no parking now in there and along Viridian Way, and it's really underutilized. But so that would be greened over. The beginning would continue to be road, open to the public, and the back would be parking areas. no part of Veridian Way would have buildings on it. That's what our proposal is now. So legally, what we need to do to accomplish this, or in legal parlance, is we need to quote-unquote have an abandonment of the road. It's an unfortunate word, but that's what the legal terminology is. Really, what we're looking to do is reconfigure it at the property owner's expense. And we think that the benefits of having a first-class hotel close to the center of the village and in the business district is going to be a more attractively developed parcel. It's going to be more. It's going to be more in keeping with the way the rest of the village right around there is developed and being developed. And a bonus here is that we do propose workforce housing, which would be provided in the building, not in the building CD, but in the building that's at the corner of Veridian Way and Hill Street. So that would be another bonus. No change of zone is required. We're not looking for any zone change because this is a special use permit, special permit use in the Village Business District, a hotel. So we do have to apply for a special permit, so we would make an application to the zoning board for that. And of course, it would have full site plan review by the planning board. But we can't make those applications until we go through this process of determining whether or not we can abandon Veridian Way, which is to say reconfigure it. So we intend to submit a formal petition to the board in the upcoming days that would sort of initiate the legal process. But we wanted first a chance to show you this revised proposal because the concept was first presented to you in June, I understand, at a board meeting. And in response to some of the feedback we got from that, the plan has been revised and modified somewhat so that it's going to be developed with, pavement where it's needed, parking where it's needed, and the rest of it will be green and open and suitable for pedestrian use. So that's, I wanted also to show you pictures, and this is Board 5, of the existing conditions on Veridian Way, and what's there now. You can see, these are just random shots of Veridian Way. You can see that the back of the parking lot, which is on the lower right-hand side of Board 5, is used pretty much only for contractors who want to park their truck there for more than 2 hours for one reason or another. The road itself is very seldom used. It's fallen into disrepair. It needs work if it's going to stay a road. So I just wanted to show you the existing conditions and really how underutilized it is right now. We're hoping that it'll be better utilized this way, and we think it would be. So that's my presentation. I'm open for comments, questions, response.
I got a call this week from a member of the Veridian family who expressed concerns over the road and the abandonment of it and what it meant to the memory and legacy of Moon.
Yeah, I remember Moon well.
He was such an unbelievable
Public servant. Many, many years in the planning board, even in the Suffolk County Planning Commission for many, many years.
I think 50 years in the planning.
Yeah.
Board in the village. He was an advocate, he was a veteran, a Navy veteran,
Right.
advocate for veterans and so.
It would be very unfortunate if this were seen as diminishing or tarnishing or in any way diminishing his legacy.
Well, that's one of their concerns.
Well.
So obviously, I would love to engage them at some level before we, to get feedback from them on this. I think that would be important for us. And then, at the last presentation, I heard from people, members of the public about, what is a community benefit? There's going to be a gain by a property owner here which will enhance the property itself, and so, you know, what's the community give back, you know, and what are those are all things we can talk about. But these
Workforce
are-
housing is a benefit, I
Right.
think. And I think it's just the beautification and the relief from liability and maintenance is also something to consider.
So I'm sure we'll have more feedback on that stuff, so there's no question in my mind about that.
Okay.
But those are two things, but first and foremost, I need to engage the Varadian family on this process and get feedback from them, because you know, I think that if they're not involved in the process, we'll have somebody who will be outspoken in opposition to the abandonment of this road in
Yeah.
memory of their loved one.
And we absolutely certainly do not want to take away the name or the memory. You know, hopefully we can be part of that discussion and,
Okay, so I'll talk to council on this, and then we'll try to figure out something
Okay.
to get.
Can I just ask-
You guys
On the
have
workforce
questions?
housing, is it both of the buildings, or is it the one that's closest to Viridian Way?
it's the one that's closest to Viridian Way that is primarily going to be involved. We're looking at both of them, but the owner and the manager have taken a look at some of the structural requirements under the building code for housing as opposed to office space, and it's probably going to be most feasible in the building at the corner of Hill Street and Viridian Way.
Do we have square footage on any of those buildings? I mean,
I probably can get that to you. I don't have it with me now. It's,
I also, one of we are losing 60 parking spots too.
the parking is being rearranged, yes. It is, as far as I know, and I've been told, I haven't sat down and done the calculations with the square footage, but I'm told that it will be compliant with code requirements. There are somewhat fewer spaces, but I think they're much better organized. They're underutilized now. That parking lot is, especially in the back, completely underutilized. So again, that'll be a site plan issue.
Right.
The planning board will take that up and make sure there's adequate parking.
I mean, that was just one of the first.
And we could
things.
put, you know, this is just a concept.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah. We know there's a lot of drawing that has to go on.
Just, if you could refresh my memory, you said something was brought up in June that looked
Yeah.
a little different than this. I mean, I know it's all conceptual, but
Right.
what, if you could remember, were changes made?
Yeah,
The
well,
green
there
area
was-
or something?
Well, I think it was a knockdown of the 71 Hill Street C and D buildings.
Is that what it was?
It showed a larger,
Building.
another building. It showed another building.
Okay.
It showed another building, and it also showed a swimming pool.
I'm sorry, an additional building or
Yes,
just a large?
a proposed, yes.
Additional one, okay.
It showed an addition. It also showed another, it showed a swimming pool right in the middle of Viridian Way,
Right.
which
Putting
we
to the
took
side.
it out and we'll move it even further away. I mean, again, it's all site plan. The idea is to keep Viridian Way open, to keep it Viridian Way just greener and more pedestrian instead of a place that people who are lost drive down.
So you took out a building is really what the.
Well, there,
And some other
There's
stuff.
many lost people.
What?
So,
Yeah.
there's a lot of use on this road.
Okay. Thank you.
Guys have any?
Will it continue to connect to the parking lot behind the theater?
it could, you'll see in these drawings that some of them show a connection and some of them don't.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it
because we
here.
keep working on these. You know, we can leave the connection to the movie theater, we can take it out, we can leave it. I mean, again, those are site plan. We're flexible on that sort of thing.
I think for me personally, the connection with the Varadian family and getting them involved and having them you know, agree with what we're trying to accomplish here is a big step for us.
Okay.
think it's
Linda,
nice.
I think personally, the other step for me would be, besides keeping the name of Viridian Way, is the taxpayer of the village of Southampton is losing an asset there.
Well,
And I'm not sure how I feel with that unless you can present to us additional information that we're gaining as opposed to losing.
well, it's a quote-unquote asset that doesn't deliver much.
No, it doesn't, but it's still an asset.
It costs you money. It's about to cost you money for repair, I think, because it's in quite a bit of disrepair. But, yeah, we can continue to talk about that. But we're talking about, installing these improvements at our expense, the workforce housing, and we can continue to talk about, whatever other
How many units do you think you'll get in workforce housing? Do you have any idea?
workforce housing,
Yeah,
maybe
how
one
many?
or two, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, you would make some of it. So that would be so basically what you're saying preliminarily speaking is in giving up the road, then to give back would be some workforce
Workforce housing, yes.
Um,
And mind you, we're only putting in 12 to 18 units.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right.
That's not much. The-
Going along, but what Trustee Irving said is, giving it the asset. And I think I asked a while back, and I forget what the answer was, I mean, I know where people stand now and certainly in the past, but the original intention was to connect that. Now,
Yeah.
is not that that's ever a popular thing, is that something that ever happened or?
Well, no, that won't happen.
No.
A long time ago, this probably goes back to, I'm gonna take a wild guess, maybe in the 1960s or somewhere in there. We had a village master plan that recommended a through street from Hill Street through this property, continuing through the next property, which was the map of Cooper's Farm, and eventually out to some other village street. I forget how far north it was going,
White's Lane.
but it was a master plan recommendation, and the theory behind it was to get access from further north through this property to Hill Street, so that traffic coming from further north would avoid going through the heart of the village to get to Hill Street and First Neck Lane. And as I recall, there was a significant opposition to that concept from property owners on First Neck Lane, who felt that that concept in the master plan end up being a road to the beach down First Neck Lane.
The reason I
But
asked-
whatever, I mean,
Yeah.
I have a vague recollection of that, and at the time that the Cooper's Farm subdivision came in, I forget when that date was,
1985.
right, if you look at the Exhibit B, which is the Cooper's Farm subdivision map, there's a little triangular area there. It goes from the end of what was then the unnamed road to the new Cooper's Farm Road. And the planning board required that the owner of the Cooper's Farm property reserve that area for possible future street use and offer it for dedication to the village. That was just, the planning board didn't want to kill the idea of a through street if it ever seemed at a later point in time to be the right thing to do, so they required that reservation. But nothing further has happened with that since that map was filed. And as I'm sure that there's nothing in the subsequent master plan, they no longer contain whatever that original thing was, concept was from the 60s. That's no
longer in
longer
there.
in our village master plan.
I mean, I understand that it's no longer there, and I understand the reason for it in the beginning. But as we approach the traffic issues going forward, it's not desired now or was desired, but it could be in the future. So one of my concerns is that we give the throw it up, then we've definitely given up that ever as being an option. Whereas the Station Village Road, as the asset trustee Irving points out, we still have that option, whether we utilize it or not. The only reason we haven't utilized it is because it hasn't been perceived as desirable. But we keep talking about traffic issues and congestion and finding a way to reroute stuff. That may not be the case on the down the road. I don't know. That's the only reason. One of my things.
Well, you've now got the whole Cooper's Farm subdivision sort of in the way.
Yeah.
Well, the triangle part he's referring to would come around, and then we still have the right-of-way that goes
Yeah.
along the back there.
It would just connect Cooper's Farm Road.
Not gonna.
It's not, it's never going to
That
happen.
field.
I don't know
Thank
where
you.
what you're doing over there, but I can tell you right now, it's never happening.
You know, I never like to say never, but.
Well, I would say never on
You
this
know,
one. so.
to me, I don't understand your thinking. I mean, here is a road that was put in with this idea in mind. It was named, and I think that's a wonderful thing, and I'm very happy to hear that you're still interested in keeping the name.
Absolutely.
I think it's terrific. But I mean, this is an asset that only costs us money. And basically, it's an asset that goes through privately owned property that's a resort. We don't need to have this. I mean, that's the way I look at it. I would rather have them do something absolutely fabulous within our community. It really is basically the only hotel we have now.
Well, you say that, Nancy, but you're giving away something that the
Let me tell you, we have a
people in the
lot of
village of
things that we could
Southampton
do.
own to a single developer.
Well, you got it from, it's coming back home, in a way.
But that's what I
It
want to
was-
see. And at the last meeting, they said they were going to bring back additional information to us that is showing that this development would be a benefit to the community. And that's what I'd like to see. You know, you say workforce housing. You know, for all we know, you put up one apartment. You know,
Is there
how many-
something specific that you're thinking about?
I'd like to
because-
see more detail on the project, you know, number of units that are gonna go to workforce housing, where the greenery is gonna be, how you're gonna retain Viridian Way.
Okay, I mean, I think, okay. All right, I'll get you some things, some further information in the next week or so.
Yeah. I mean, I think those are all things that we can work on, a pure community benefit here, because we're gonna be challenged by, you know, people in our community saying, well, what's the community benefit here? So, you know, wanna be able to answer that, you know, and, you know,
We think we can answer it, we will.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's what we
yeah,
want.
that's-
I think the community benefit is when you're having a wedding or a family party
do
or
too.
something to that event, and you can't fit the people in your house, they have a nice place to stay.
Right.
That's where my family stayed at, so.
I mean, that to
For
me is an
weddings.
enormous benefit to our community,
it
since
20
we
years
really don't
before.
have that right now. I mean, we do
No.
have it, but we need more of it.
Well, right,
I mean, and you're offering more of it, and sweets, which we, you know, that would be a benefit in my mind, but
Well, okay.
Anyway.
So we'll do some, I'll try
Okay.
to organize something with,
Just one simple question, Linda. The proposed new Viridian Way, is it as wide as the existing one?
Yes, what you're seeing in pink on these drawings is the existing width. And of course, it's not all, it's not all paved. It's not, we're showing the entire width of Viridian Way. Actually, the entire width of what's dedicated as Viridian Way isn't all paved, but it's mostly paved. You can see on this.
The only way of getting into this, other than that eastern entrance from the movie theater parking lot, is still going to be Viridian Way, right?
Yes,
Yeah, so
yes.
I would think that the family wouldn't, find that some huge diminution of the honor that would be bestowed on Moon. Myself, that would be my own reaction to it. As long as it's still there, it's just not going to be as long and it's much more beautiful, I would think. There is the quid pro quo problem, which you can chew on.
And it goes to beautiful gardens. I mean, straight ahead are going to be these beautiful gardens, which I think is also something from Hill Street. If you're looking down through Viridian Way, now you're going to have a different area to look at, which would be very beautiful.
Yeah. We think of it as something that's sort of in keeping with the tradition of the village, in the same way that the Irving Hotel, which was kind of legendary across the street, was. There was green space in front of the Irving Hotel. It was considered at the time to be a lovely place to stay. And we're sort of, even though we're growing bigger and we have more population, we have fewer and fewer rooms. It's becoming more condoized.
Oh, that's what I've heard.
Condoized. There's the word.
Condoized. We're not we're proposing something different that we think the village really needs.
Could you show the public, I don't know if they all have that, but could you show the public the one view of showing the new gardens and everything?
Yeah, it would be number 3. And the cameraman took a shot of that before we started tonight, so he's got it. It's number 3.
Well, this is the beginning of a very long process, I know, but we'll, okay, good.
Okay, we're gonna be in touch. We'll keep it up.
Okay.
We're open to.
The one thing that I mean, and I know that this is just conceptual, but
Yeah.
I do see where, if now you have all the parking away from the buildings, except for the new building that's there, but from the main building, it's kind of away, except it goes on the side. It looks like on here, it looks like the entrance is still where the entrance is. And I see that there's several parking spots there, and that may be just pull up to have people get out and check in.
You're looking at number 3?
Yeah, I'm looking
Yeah.
at number 3. That
Yeah.
would probably be to pull up and check in.
Right.
Which I think is a very important part of all of this, since now all the parking is so far away from everything. And I know I've stayed in places where you kind of pull up and then pull back out again so that you can get your luggage out.
Right.
The person's there to help you with your luggage, and then you go
Right.
in. So I was kind of looking at that and hope that that would work fine for you. I don't know whether it will, and that can be discussed, I'm sure.
Yeah, that would be part of the site plan process, but I think that what we're trying to get away from here is that old 50s motel idea where you have that long strip of building and parking head-on into it, which is what we have here, but
Right.
it's an outdated, and could be more attractive.
Has anybody spoken to the fire department in regards to this?
I don't know.
Because I mean, it looks,
Of course, we'll have to
obviously
do that.
visually, it looks a lot nicer with all that green space, but you're limiting your emergency access to.
Well, that's part of the reason we talked about keeping it completely open and flat,
Okay.
so that if there were an emergency, a truck could roll right over it.
Basically run right over all the nice greenery.
Yeah, well,
To get- 'cause
yeah.
As he
First
points
things
out, all
first.
around the existing building, there is no road to get to the
Well,
parking area.
and maybe that'll have to be tweaked a bit in some manner, but we will show it to the
Okay.
fire department. I mean, there are a lot of steps that this has to go through, we understand, before it is ready for shovels.
Any other questions, comments? Okay.
Okay.
It's funny, this Cooper Farm map that was filed was signed by Moon.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
October 15th, 1985, almost 30 years ago, so,
yeah.
yeah. Wow.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming out. Thanks to the Southampton Inn staff. Is nobody working over there? You know, Dee Dee, I have to apologize on behalf of the village because the highway department, somebody from the highway department was instructed to reach out to all the businesses from Windmill Lane all the way up to the Southampton Inn, and the person thought everybody between Windmill and the Southampton Inn and didn't stop and talk to you guys about paving and the impact it would have on you guys. So they were supposed to be there. Might have got 1 or 2 phone calls from somebody or anything like that, but on behalf of the village, we apologize that that person didn't follow all the instructions they were given and create an inconvenience to you and your staff and your guest. So, okay. All right, so back to work, guys, okay? All right. Okay, no public hearings here. We have two communications to the board.
Okay, first one is Southampton Public Schools, put on your parade shoes at the time of year again. Southampton Elementary School Halloween Parade through the village for students in grades K to 4 will take place on Friday, October 30th at 2:15 p.m. We'll follow this route. Pre-K will be stationed at their usual post on Main Street across the street from the Presbyterian Church. Students in grades K to 4 will parade down Hampton Road, Nugent Street, Windmill Lane, Jobs Lane, Main Street, and back through Cameron Street to school. All children will return to their classrooms. The Southampton High School Student Council will sponsor a trick-or-treat night to be held on Friday, October 30th from 4 to 5:30 p.m. at Southampton High School.
All right.
Highlight of the year.
There you go. Getting calls on it already.
So I'd like to make a motion to authorize the Southampton Elementary School to hold their annual Halloween parade on 10/30/15 in accordance with their letter.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, and the second other highlight is Little Lucy's Pet Parade. Little Lucy's requests permission to hold our 15th annual Halloween Pet Parade on Saturday, October 31st, between 2 and 3 p.m. Our parade starts at Little Lucy's, walks down the sidewalk of Job's Lane to Main Street sidewalk, then we cross the street in front of Hildress and head back to Little Lucy's. As usual, to ensure a safe and organized walk, we request the help of the crossing guard officer to cross in front of Hildress and then at the corner of Job's and Main Street. This is our usual route we've used every year. This parade will benefit the Southampton Animal Shelter. It has been well organized throughout the years, and we really appreciate you allowing us to have it. Sincerely, Patricia Hurley.
Really nice.
What day is, oh, this is on the 31st, which is Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday. So-
Do the kids trick or treat on Saturday through the village too?
No, they used
No,
to. They changed
the
that.
Ragamuffin Parade is gonna be on Sunday, the 25th. That's when the Ragamuffin Parade is gonna be. And then I know that we're shutting down Hill Street.
On
No,
Friday?
not Hill Street.
Elm, right?
Elm
Friday
Street.
night.
Yeah, we're shutting down Hill. Yeah. Saw some mouths drop open, right? We're gonna do a massive trick or treat. Yeah, Elm Street. What time we're gonna shut that down, Chief? Around?
Usually it's right after school, but there's no school.
Yeah, so probably like 4:30 till probably, yeah. Do we want to shut it down to
I don't
10?
even think we shut it down. I don't even think it goes that long.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking like 4 to 8.
I think it usually goes to about 9 o'clock. As people start winding down through 8 or 9, and then I think
Yeah.
by 9 o'clock, they're gone. They take the
Yeah.
barricades.
So I know that some of the neighbors had reached out trying to figure out when we would do that. So, and then we have that run in the morning with OLH. And
Pretty busy.
it'll be a busy day. So, at least my kids are all grown up right now, so I don't have to worry
You
about
have
it.
grandchildren.
Yeah, but I don't
They'll
have to
be
worry.
in their little
Of
costumes,
course,
I'm sure.
I was only thinking in terms of
Yeah.
who's gonna get in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
So, that's what I was thinking about. Okay. I mean, we've done this every year. It's really, it's a simple thing. Yeah, I mean, it's not like we're calling anyone in from overtime, and they have a nice turnout of people that do this, so. Okay, so, I'd like to make a motion to authorize the, Little Lucy's, Halloween Pet Parade in accordance with their letter dated 10/3/15.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolutions, item 1, resolve the reading of the minutes of public session 2 of September 22nd, 2015 be dispensed with, and those minutes be accepted as filed by the village administrator. The actions taken at that meeting be hereby are ratified and approved. Have a motion?
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Resolved that the claims for the warrants dated October 8th, 2015, totaling $491,216.05, warrant 7 general fund, and $64,521.58, warrant 5 capital reserve fund, and the village payrolls for the period from September 18th to October 1st, 2015 be ordered and approved. Have a motion?
Make the motion.
Second.
Second. Discussion. Item 1, amateur wholesale, ammunition for the police, $5,793.15. Black Bear Company, bulk oil for the garage, $1,401.13. Born Marketing, fall newsletter, $1,740. Page 3, Buzz Chew, parts for the garage, $1,409.10. Cast Productions on page 4, September video services, $1,932.60. Page 5, Commissioner of Taxation and Finance, third quarter MTA tax, $9,051.06. Creative Visual Systems, sign supplies for the Highway Department, $8,480.30. Ducks at the Beach, refunded security deposits for Cooper's Beach concession, $4,200. EMT Government Accounting Services for September, $1,145.63. Page 6, Firematic Supply, hose supplies for the Fire Department, $5,646. Global Montello Group, 3,005 gallons of diesel fuel, $4,849.33. H. Barber & Son, beach rake repair parts, $1,195.26. Hammer Medical, ambulance supplies, $1,057.50. Page 7, Harley Davidson, services on the 2 motorcycles, $1,156.41 for PD. Herrick Hardware, supplies going on to page 8, $1,361.86 for September. Page 9, Joseph Hurley, ambulance medical reimbursement, $1,000. Johnson Electrical Construction Corp., traffic signal maintenance for September, $1,350. Page 10, Lynch's Garden Center, September supplies for the Parks Department, $1,624.04. Page 11, Messiano Consulting, September grant writing services, $2,737.50. Organ Order Supply, garage parts for the garage, $2,094.35 for September. Page 12, Maria McKenzie, ambulance medical reimbursement, $1,000. Page 13, Norsec and Son, 2 payments for the September Fest Festival, $2,400 and $3,100, and carding for the Highway Department, $5,223.50. Page 14, New York State Health Insurance for October, $254,598.36. Page 15, Pitney Bowes, mail costs for the court, $1,000. Page 16, TSE&G for traffic light services, $1,105.34, and 2 payments for the buildings, $4,341.64 and $5,301.85. Page 18, Riverhead Building Supplies for the building department, $1,851.61. Page 20, Suffolk County National Bank, bond payment, $98,280. Vehicle tracking systems, GPS services for September, $1,055.56. And page 22, 2 payments to Wright National Flood Insurance for Vets Hall and World War I Monument, $4,134 and $3,172. And Z&J LLC transcription fees for the PBA litigation, $1,073.91. Capital Reserve warrant, High Tech Fire and Safety, turnout gear for the Fire Department, $11,270.56. Integrated Wireless Technologies, Fire Department pages, $10,400. Stott Architecture for the ambulance barn, $36,217.50. And Strategic Safety Dynamics, Fire Department gas meters, $6,633.52. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item 3, resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves a fee increase to Cameron Engineering Associates to perform the Phase 1A Cultural Resource Survey for secret compliance for the formation of the Southampton sewer area. Have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second?
Discussion?
Well, this is for the secret compliance for Phase 1A of the Cultural Resource Survey. So they're asking for a increase of $9,090.98. Includes a proposal from Louis Berger, a subcontractor, for $6,090.68. And they are a fully qualified firm to do the archaeological component for the secret process in the area. I think this is a big step towards moving forward with this. And any other questions or comments on this?
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 6, resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the hiring of George H. Brown as a part-time crossing guard at an hourly rate of $15. It should be 15 rather than 16 on that. Have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the following capital reserve transfers as requested by Chief Kempf. Out of capital reserves fire equipment, $150,000, and out of capital reserves fire truck, $50,000, and transferring into capital reserve fire facilities, $200,000. Have a motion?
Make the motion.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? You'll see a memo in here from Mike that they have to do some apron repairs on a couple of the houses, and you have an analysis of what the capital reserve balances are on the second sheet behind there, so he's just requesting a transfer into the facilities reserve to accomplish these repairs before the winter time.
Okay.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees approve the appointment of Thor Ginsburg as a probationary member of the Hook and Ladder Company 1 effective October 8th, 2015. Can I have a motion?
Make the motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the following payments from the Capital Reserve Fund subject to permissive referendum. High-Tech Fire and Safety, $11,270.56 from the Fire Equipment Reserve. Integrated Wireless, $10,400 from the Fire Equipment Reserve. And Strategic Safety Dynamics, $6,633.52 from the Fire Equipment Reserve. Have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay, we have no discussion items listed here. We'll go to comments from board members. Rich?
Actually, I just wanted to mention kind of in relation to the hiring of George Brown as our part-time crossing guard. The reason as required is I just wanted to send out a thank you to the person finally retiring from that position, which would be Paula DeMunda, my mother-in-law. She actually served in that capacity for 20 years as an ordinance enforcer and crossing guard. And the last 8 years, she's just been our crossing guard. So, not that that means a lot to the people sitting up here, and even my children aren't in elementary school any longer. That's really one of her posts. But we were there today, and she did her final crossing, and it was actually nice to see some parents and children give her cards and flowers to wish her off.
That's
So, again, so I just want to thank her for her service, and congratulations on your retirement.
Good.
Mike?
Really don't have much, but, you know, this fall is full-time in Southampton Village is spectacular. I mean, if you look around, we get incredible lighting. We have crystal clear days like we have in the past couple of days. And I would just urge everybody to get out, go down to the beach or walk around the village because it is pretty spectacular and the snow's going to fly shortly.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah.
Don't even
All
think
right.
about
Put a
it.
damper on an upbeat mood, huh?
Pleasure living in the Northeast.
Nancy?
I don't really have anything, thank you.
Okay. Bill?
The only thing I was going to bring up, I have a real good friend who has been on my case about paving Hill Street for 4 or 5 years now, and I can't wait till he gets back from Europe this week. And hope he doesn't run into something because everybody, you know, it's like a runway now. It's so
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
And they really did not only a fabulous job, I'm astonished how once they got going, they were able to do it as quickly as they did. It just really amazed me. But other than that, it's a great thrill. And, you know, the village has really spent a lot of money on a whole host of prime roads and lesser roads and so on. I think they've done the department and the board members have really made a huge dent in those roads that needed attention. And that was, I think, kind of the queen of the May, that Hill Street.
I do too.
There's no other road in the village that has no stops, no traffic lights, no anything. It's just you could put a 747 down on it, I think, tonight. Looks great.
Okay, be
Let's hope
careful
they
with
don't.
that. Be careful with that
So,
statement. Or at least a drone crash.
No, I do want to congratulate Paula for 20-plus years. And
Well, 28 total, yeah.
yeah,
All said and
she's
done.
did a great job. And I want to congratulate Brenda and the African American Film Festival. That was I think a big success, and they had some great pieces that were displayed there, and some of the films and the plays and discussion items and stuff. I think you did very well there, Brenda. Good job.
Glad it's over.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. So, we have this weekend's Hamptons International Film Festival, and it starts actually tonight. Their kickoff, and tomorrow night will be the opening night for Southampton, the Southampton Theater, and it's the movie's Youth is what they're premiering here. It's got a good cast of actors, and Harvey Keitel is one of them, and a few other people that did. So it's supposed to be a great, and Michael Caine is also in that too. So it's, I mentioned the Ragamuffin Parade, which is on Sunday the 25th. Halloween, we're going to be shutting down Elm Street. The OLH run is going to be on the morning of Halloween. Is when they want to do it. And then also I know the planning commission is doing interviews and stuff with people to help us with GFA and a lot coverage studies that need to be done. I know they got some proposals.
We got four
back.
responses in, yeah.
4 responses back. So we
Right.
haven't made final decision on that.
Right, I
so.
think they're interviewing, and then the 16th is when they're
Okay.
making their final decision.
All right, great. So let's take, we're moving forward with that, which is great. And then finally, I just want to end with Mayor Richard Spooner passed away on the 5th. And he was the mayor here from 1989 till 1993. He was a retired principal at the Southampton High School. He was big on his tree program in the village. I think it was a big piece for him. I know, Bill, you knew him well. And,
He
and,
was on the board, and I was on with him. And he was just a wonderful person, and I was really saddened. His wife died earlier this year, and she was lovely too, but Dick was a truly great person.
Yeah, so, and they did the wake today and having the funeral tomorrow, services and stuff. So, but he did a lot for this village, and you have to thank people that spend a lifetime volunteering and making an impact, and he was one of those people. And, you know, he was over at Peconic Landing over there. They loved him over there when I had gone over there once, and everybody in the place knew exactly who he was, so he will be missed, and he was a good man, and thank you for your service and stuff, Nick. So with that being said, I'm going to go to the second public comment. Anybody from the public would like to make comment? Okay, so I'm going to make a motion.
We have one.
We have one, okay. Go on up here to the microphone. Yeah, and that way Charlie can get it all on record, so, yeah.
Bruce Bachman, Halsey Neck Lane. Just listening to your discussion about Canadian Way. I think Canadian family ought to consider the Inn on Vanadian would be a great name for that little hotel.
Yeah, hey, well.
Could you represent us in this matter?
So, all right. Anyone else from the public would like to speak? Okay, make a motion to close the public hearing and go into executive session for the purposes of discussing personnel matters.
Second.
Aye.